Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris and this is Stacy. This channel is about financial prepping in general. And there is I was just talking to a good friend of mine, he's down from Texas to see me. And it looks like the whole world is really coming unraveled right now. And I don't know how much time you guys spend on the internet or looking at things that are happening. But if you go to Twitter, it's disturbing how many people in the United States are in support of Hamas. They're rioting at colleges. It's just unnerving. It's a crazy time. And we want to talk about some things that we can prepare. How can we prepare without getting overwhelmed? Because it's kind of overwhelming, especially if you're new to it, especially if you're just getting going and you just realized everything's smoke and mirrors and you need precious metals and all the preps and all this stuff. But first thing is, you're just calm down, take a breath, don't make any rash decisions. And as you get prepared, you'll be able to really take things as they come. Do you have anything? I just kind of ran off with it.
No, you're good. I forgot my Bible verse, you guys. I really would like starting off.
You're supposed to have those memorized.
I will. I'm not very good at all those. But you guys, in the Proverbs, I don't care whether you're a believer or not a believer, Proverbs has amazing wisdom. And it talks about fools don't listen to wisdom. They don't listen to instruction. They don't pay attention. They bury their heads in the sand. And so you guys, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be wise.
They don't listen to a rebuke either.
No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't take criticism.
Right.
So I don't have that scripture in front of me. Mr. Al sends me amazing scriptures every day. But basically, that's what we're doing. And I have to take instruction every now and then. Chris comes to me, and he'll be like, Stace, not liking that, or change that, and we have to, and I've had to learn to take criticism, and I'm not very good at it sometimes.
I like constructive criticism, guys, and I'm telling you this too. If there's something about the video you don't really care for, or anything that I do, especially on the Welding channel, I enjoy criticism. I just have to run with some of it because those guys get pretty gnarly. But anyway, I would like to move on to...
Well, and talking about criticism, so let's critically look. So this is kind of how it brought to my mind about Proverbs. Let's critically look about how we live.
Okay.
So I was talking to so many of you guys today. I have been on the phone literally all day long. And a lot of you guys have been telling me, I have never realized what was going on until recently. A lot of you guys told me today. You said, I'm just waking up. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I am critically looking at what I'm doing. So that's what brought to my mind. I'm like, if you're receiving instruction, what we have learned through the last 12 years or so, because we've been trying to prepare and do different things, what can we bring to benefit that would say, these are some of the things that we're doing, and how can they maybe give back to us?
Well, somebody just said the most important thing is God.
I agree with that.
I agree, 100%. That's the first prep.
Yep.
That is the first prep. And asking for wisdom was also in that comment. It just kind of flashed by, and I agreed with everything he said. But as we're assessing, right, we're assessing what we need to do. Because look, guys, let me just kind of streamline my thought pattern. I've been thinking through this. I've not made a video about it because I don't actually know what's going on over there or the other place. All of the wars and the rumors of wars that's going on, I don't actually know, because the first casualty of war is the truth. So I'm not going to get on here and drum up a bunch of stuff that I don't actually know. Mm-hmm. What I do know for sure is the same people that are funneling drugs, the same people that are taking little kids and selling them across the border, the same people that are pro everything that's going on in Gaza are here on U.S. soil. That's what I know for sure. 33,000 Russians and over 10,000 Chinese have been encountered at the border. Do what you will with that information. Double check me on that. That's just encounters. That's what I know. I'm not sure if it's true. I wasn't at the border counting them. What I can tell you is that I saw some footage of an Arabic man coming through the Russian border with armed guards around him. That was on Epoch Times. And you can't tell me that these people are not infiltrating the United States. So what we're talking about, that is what to get prepared for. I'm trying to scatter this out because the algorithms are really going to hate this. Social media is having a hard time, or these, I wrote it down, tech platforms are having a hard time figuring out what is information and misinformation. Now, I believe it's up for you to decide. But what I saw was an Arabic man coming across the border with armed guards around him. And this is just a video. How many of those videos weren't taken? How many Russians are over here that weren't encountered? How many Chinese nationals weren't encountered? You know, those people are here. Now, if you look on Twitter and all these riots at the college, are you familiar with that?
Oh, yeah, I've been watching them today.
It's crazy, the people, the radical, you know, the people that wanted today to be Jihad Day.
Be careful saying that.
Okay, well, I had a jihad on coons when I got out to this land, but they were overtaking the place. I had to do something.
They were killing our chickens.
Yeah, they were killing our chickens left and right. And I've got a solution for that. I might put that on. I better not do that actually. So anyway, what are we gonna do about it?
So Chris and I were talking about what's happening in other parts of the world right now. Could so easily happen here within a blink of an eye. We take so many things for granted, and we were like, and we did a video the other day about are you really prepared? Actually, I was doing it, and you walked in to do your chainsaw, and I drug you into it.
That was definitely impromptu.
And I said, we got such great response from that and feedback, and so we said, let's do a part 2. Let's talk about what you would do. What are some of the top 5, 10 things that is the most important? And I even told all you guys, all of our life scenario is different. We live on land. And some of you guys call and tell me, we live in an apartment. We live in a condo. We live in a townhouse. And I get it. I've lived in all of those. So every time but you can, every single portion of, you can always walk through and figure out what is something you can do to prepare. So we were going to talk about that a little bit, maybe some essentials.
That's perfect.
And one of them is safety. We were talking about or do you want to talk about this article first?
That was the assess I was talking about in the beginning. Assess your situation. Everybody's situation is different, so you have to assess what you're in. So it's going to be different for everybody. Your immediate needs, that's what you need to think about first. What is my immediate needs? Immediately, what are you going to do if, and this is really going off in the left field, what do you do if you see 100 parachutes fall down and it's like it was in Gaza? What are you going to need immediately? I'm going to let you come up with that answer. That was my first thought. When I heard about everything that was going on over there, my first thought was home protection. That would be my immediate, you know you're going to need food and water, but what if you need that first?
Yeah, it's true.
It doesn't make any sense not to have it.
Sorry I interrupted you for a second. I've always kind of put food and water first, but with the way things are going lately, and I just want to say, you guys, real quick, our hearts go out to all the victims and the victims' family. Children, women, men, all the innocent people that are involved.
I want to talk about that in a little bit.
But I always, in my head, when I was always doing my list, I would always say food, water, clothing. And all of a sudden, I'm going to be honest with you guys, home protection has gone to the top of my list. I don't know if you guys saw the bug out bag that I did, which I love my bag. People tease me about it, but I absolutely love it. And in the front of that pocket,
I tease her about it a little bit.
He does. He too.
Well, she's got some stuff in there that, like a life jacket.
Well, because I can't swim very well.
I know, and that's fine. It's collapsible and it's really cool.
But it's for me. It's my bug out bag.
I know, it's that's it. That's exactly right. Every situation's different.
Yeah.
If you have a hard time swimming, then you definitely need a freaking life jacket.
Yeah, it's it's my bug out bag. So I created my bug out bag, and I even said that in there. I said, this is for everyone. You're going to have to change it up on your own. But in the front of it, in that very front pocket, if you guys notice, I put a seed dispenser with some seeds, and you guys all know what that means right now. And matter of fact, I even said it in the video, every woman needs to know how to use it. And every woman needs to own one. And actually, 2 of you guys today, 2 women called me today. And guess what? You guys are going to get your own, and you're going to go to training. And I'm so excited.
So cool. That is.
So to me, that's almost become the top of my priority list now. Because Chris and I were talking about the 5 top things maybe you want to talk about, and
Yeah,
that's
and
become my number 1 now. I think.
That's my number 1, because without that one, if that one comes first, the other ones you just saved up for them, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Now, moving. Okay, so that would be the first one, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the top 5 you're mentioning, right?
Okay.
So what would you say?
Well, I thought of the top 5, but guys, there is no top 5.
There's a lot.
Every situation is different. That's why everybody needs to assess and come up with their own top 5. If somebody comes up, this is the first thing they don't look. Nobody knows your situation but you. So you got to assess your own situation, come up with your own top 5. But that's the first one on my list, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are probably a lot like me that don't carry everywhere. I don't carry everywhere I go. It's a pain in the butt because a lot of people say I carry everywhere, but they really don't. When I'm on the tractor, when I'm doing stuff, I really don't. And if you say that, you're probably not being honest. When you're away from the house, maybe you carry. But
I gotta tell you something on this. So Chris, he works from a lot with me now, but there was a period of time where you weren't. You were away every single day, and I was working in the garden, and I carried that item to the garden with me every single day because I'm a little distance from the house, and sometimes all of a sudden the gate would be open and there would be somebody else driving down that gate, and there was not enough time for me to get from that garden to the house, and I did. For weeks, every time I'd go out there.
That's another thing, guys. For you guys that live on land, we're pretty secluded. Is that a good thing? Maybe. Does that mean you can't watch everything and somebody could be in the woods right there? Yeah, that's the facts. That's what I'm talking about, having a seed dispenser on your person all the time.
And we have a contact if you're interested.
That is true. We're not getting paid to talk about it,
Nope.
not one red cent.
Nope.
I've known the person my whole life. Yep. That's why I talk about him. He's a good friend of mine, Luke. Is his number in the description?
Nope, but you can text me right there, 318-564-5823.
Yeah, if you want the home protection number, that's for bulk seeds, bulk dispensers, bulk cartridges, bulk everything. And he'll help you. He'll talk you through it even if you don't buy anything.
Yeah, he will. And I actually told a lady.
Guy.
I told a
That's
lady
why I
that.
tell people about him, because he's a good person.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. No, I'm interrupting you. I apologize. Sorry. Sometimes we've been married so long, we kind of talk over each other, and we don't mean to. So I apologize.
She talks over me.
I probably do. I'm sorry.
No, you don't.
But so that's why I talked to a lady today, and she wasn't sure what would fit her hand, and I said, call Luke, 318-564-5823, and I'll get you in touch with him, and he can help you. So
paint your house camo, Tony said. I actually had that thought, Tony. The crazy people that we bought our house from, got our land from. After we built what we built, they said we regret selling you the land. I said, well, I could paint it camouflage, and I kind of thought about painting the side of it camouflage for them.
All right.
But they're not here anymore. All right. So
next
thing. What is it on your list?
I think water.
Okay.
Without water, you
can't go very long without water.
No, you can't. And that's what they were saying right now, that they have shut off their electricity, which includes taking some of their water out. They're frantically trying to get a hold of water. Matter of fact is, you guys, even in New Orleans right now, it's so low, the Mississippi River, that it is putting salt water into the water system. It's going into the drains. It is corroding the drains where people cannot actually get drinking water, and they are bringing in hundreds and hundreds and thousands of bottles of water to New Orleans. You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So without water, you got to have a plan.
Yeah, water, but that goes into, do you do bottle? Do you do filter? Do you do whatever? What do you think?
Bottle can evaporate. We were just talking to Toby,
Bottled
your
water?
friend. He just said it. He just bought, but your friend Toby, he's here. His friend Toby's here. Which, by the way, Toby, you're inside. You should be out here saying hello. But he bought a bunch of bottled water, and he went to check on it, and he said half the bottle now is evaporated. So I don't know if maybe it's how you store it.
That sounds odd to me.
That's what he told me.
But, if he said it, I believe it. The best thing, I don't really like water in plastic bottles for a long time. That doesn't make good sense to me. The best thing would be drill a well. Okay. For people that can't do that. The next best thing is have a way to filter the water that you can find. A life straw would be really cool.
Or the tablets.
Yeah, or the tablets. Life straw would for somebody that really needed something right away, if you need a drink of water and you have this little life straw, you can run out to my pond and get you a drink of water real quick. I mean, that's like, why not have one? You know, they're not that expensive, and you can have one. So water, I agree. Water is very important. You can't live very long without it. The next thing would probably be.
So I was talking to someone today, and they live in a condo, and they have no access to water. So they were trying to figure out solutions of how to do it. So they were getting gallons, and we were doing that solution of where you do vinegar in the bottom a little bit so it keeps it sterile, and then you fill it back up, and they periodically recycle or whatever. So like Chris was saying, in every person's situation, it's going to be different. But I think everyone needs to look at their own environment right now and just go, man, what do I need to do to prepare? Because, well, it's a wake-up call, you guys. We're seeing a lot of stuff happen globally. Wake up. We had a lockdown. Wake up. All right.
Well, if you didn't wake up at 2020, you saw how fast the stores were emptied. Yes, they recovered quick, but I would say everybody on this channel watching me right now had this thought of, what if groceries never come back?
Yep.
What if? And they did, and it was kind of a nothing burger looking back. It was a big deal then. But, why not just have all that stuff ready? I'm going to do a video on how to clean mass water, like 30,000 gallons of water. I've got a big project that's going to take a lot of clean water. I cannot wait to show you guys. It's going to be awesome. And I thought I would use that because I don't know. I mean, I know what to do, but I've got to go through the steps, and I want to have a way to actually pump out pond water and make massive water that I could give water to to people in a mile radius of me. That much water. That'd be really cool.
Somebody just said dehumidifier, and we have one of those.
Yep, sure
but
do.
can you actually filter that water then?
Sure, yeah, you can filter it.
Okay, that's another good thing then.
Don't drink it without filtering it.
Yeah, well, that's another good thing, because we do have a dehumidifier, but I just usually use it to water plants and stuff like that. I don't actually drink it, but so you just have to filter it then. Well,
aquarium filters, MNJ said. Aquarium filters are a no-brainer way. Cool.
A Berkey, but we heard that there's a lawsuit against them because they're actually pulling them off the markets. As a matter of fact, it's Toby, our friend that was here. Yeah, he was just telling us.
Yeah, I heard that.
I
didn't know they were pulling them off the market.
I heard they were pulling off the market. So you guys tell me if that's true or not. All right. So the next thing I was going to say is probably food.
Yeah.
Or tell me if you think different. You asked me to think of 5 top things, and I was kind of got to going through it.
Yeah, food's a huge prep, guys. I mean,
and the type of
72 hours, people are going to be literally riding over food. The grocery stores will close. It's hard to talk like that and think like that, because guys, if I ever come on here and say, this is important, you do this right now, it is freaking important, because I don't get stirred up about much of nothing. I really don't.
No,
do I?
No, matter of fact, is when he comes in concerned, I get major concerned.
When I get concerned, the world's burning down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm concerned about the open border. This is a humongous concern.
This is where this is coming from.
Yeah, that is a concern, and I really want to push that home for people that just got here. This is what's going on over there that seems like it's not here and it'll never happen, because I was just out on my land and it's peaceful and nice and nothing's going wrong. It would be very foolish to think something like that would never, ever come here, ever. In a million years would never be here. It will come here one day. We don't know when that day is. I just want to make sure people are prepared for it that day. And, I'm not talking about anything crazy. I'm just talking about normal stuff, just normal everyday things that some people miss. I know I just talked to my good buddy Toby.
Who's here for the weekend.
And
we're going to get him on.
He was talking about a person that had lost his job. They were hurting for money. What did they eat? Their preps. Mm-hmm. They ate their preps. I don't know if they had to or not, but it's kind of like a cache. It's a savings of food, because it's good food. Your preps is what you eat every day. And a lot of it was dehydrated and freeze dried, and they whipped it up and they saved all their money because they didn't have to buy food. They already had water, So that's it's pretty cool when you look at it like that. And the groceries we bought years ago have gone up. It's like it's beating the stock market. Well, maybe not now. I don't know. I'm not sure what the stock market's done. I haven't looked at it lately.
You've been busy the last day or two.
Yeah, it's been nuts around here.
But I think a lot of this really brought it home to us. What's happened in the last week, if you guys have seen it, which I want to tell you an interesting little note that I saw today, which kind of made me really angry. Curious what you guys think about this. But what's going on overseas, what side you pick, I don't care. That's not the point. I do not want any hate in the comments. Just so you know, no hate. And if so, the moderators take them off. But when I was watching that and how right now they've taken off the electricity for certain areas so that means they have no electricity, they have no access to the sea, they can't do the borders because the borders are shut off, they have no food. So that means, you guys, these people, if they don't have some kind of backup, they're in dire situation. It made me think, and I told Chris, I said, what would we do? And then I read this book, and I've told you guys this book, and you should read it. I'm telling you, it's kind of a hard read. It's not fun. It's not a fuzzy feel good, but it will make you think. Now that's a fiction book, but it will make you think, hey, you guys, think outside the box. Just get a little extra. And I was telling Chris, I said, first I was saying food, water, but now I think home protection is number one. But also, in addition to the food and the water and all that kind of stuff, I told Chris, I said, blankets. The biggest takeaway I took from some of this book.
That's going to be number 6.
No, number 6 is blankets. You got towels. You got hygiene. You've got.
Wait. Let's back
stop.
up.
Okay.
No towels.
Towels. That's what they said.
We can air dry. I'm just saying.
No.
The next essential thing is energy.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, we go propane, batteries.
Establish
all right,
an
I
energy
like that.
plan and then an alternative energy
So number
plan.
4.
We got A, B, and C. We need like
home
all
protection.
the energy.
We got home protection. We got food, water, now energy. All right, I'm going with it.
Is that? I thought we already did number 5.
That's number 4.
Okay. Well, number 4 should be energy.
I like it.
Yeah, because God was number 1. I was right.
Number 5.
Establish a energy stockpile of whatever. The propane guy came out the other day. He's like, man, you don't use much propane, do you? I said, no, I've got multiple sources of energy. He's like, well, that's not a bad idea. I said, yeah, I know. Electricity, propane, diesel, oil, used motor oil. I heat my whole house with, or my whole shop, not the house, with used motor oil and wood pellets. I get it going with wood pellets and I use used motor oil. It burns clean. I built a stove that'll do it. Another energy source, gasoline. Generators, people that don't have solar panels, sometimes even if you do have solar panels, you probably still need a generator. It's hard for me to talk to people that live in a condo. I'm sorry. If you're not into that, you need to, if you're not capable of doing that, you need to make a alternative plan to what I'm telling you. But you can do that. I do that all the time. When somebody tells me this, I'm like, well, I can do a version of that. Do a version. So an alternative energy source, not just one. If you're on electricity only, please think about a generator, something that'll, if the grid does go down, if and when, or I'll say when, it will, one day, it's just inevitable. You'll have a way to charge your radio, run your freezer, because hopefully you've got some meat stored away. We talk about that a lot, the food situation. Carbs are easy to find. In the Thunderdome scenario we talk about a lot, protein is going to be the hardest to find.
And he struggles with protein even now, and we have access to it. But you're right. So you're right. And also wood burning. You guys, I do a lot of wood burning. Every year we chop up wood and we prepare it for the next year, and we let it sit there and we dry. Matter of fact, he has a couple logs already sitting there right now, and we're going to chop up and it'll be ready for the next year. I'm already getting ready to stack my wood for this year against the house or whatever. So it's always sources that we're looking at. And it's just always thinking outside the box. I didn't grow up this way, you guys. I did not. I was a city girl.
No, I didn't either.
I didn't think outside the box of how to prepare. And then when things go out and all of a sudden you're left stranded.
You know what I've learned about it?
What?
It's funny. I thought about this the other day. I've been having a lot of time to think about everything that's going on. And I got to haul stumps and logs and
Been on the tractor.
Man, it's been crazy. I mean, till 11 o'clock at night. And I was thinking, when did I get into it? And it came after we started getting into rental houses. When I started accumulating a little bit of wealth, it got me into like the next step. After you start, you live a little while, you kind of come out of the play phase. All I did was fish and hunt, and then you move into, okay, I got to do something for my future because I don't want to work my whole life. Start accumulating assets, and then it's like, whoa, precious metals has got a place here. That's kind of hedged our wealth.
It has.
Like humans' wealth over the course of time. Now, we haven't ever had a reserve currency this long, and there's a lot of people that think it'll be that way forever. Forever and ever and ever, the dollar will be just king. I don't feel that way. I think another currency will be backed by commodities, not just precious metals, oil, lithium, you name it. Name something that people actually need, and you can invest in that as well. It's not just a precious metal thing. If you're interested in precious metals, Stacy sells precious metals for Miles Franklin. Was that number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was number 5 was energy, but we're just kind of going
6,
with it.
so that was number 6?
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Well, we're just
They're not in
going with
order.
Yeah. We're just telling you what we're doing. I think that's the thing. I think it kind of hit us of what are the top things you need to do, whether you're in order or not.
We need to do a how we got to where we're at, because, guys, it wasn't always like this.
No.
I didn't just start this channel
No.
out of a condo or a truck seat somewhere and say, I'm a prepper and do this.
No. This has been years.
This has been years of struggle. I'm going to do a whole series on how to buy land and cultivate it. How to turn it from a brush, nothing, into like the infrastructure, tips and tricks. I have got some good ones too. It's crazy. I think I'm going to do a whole series on it.
We showed up at this piece of property with a chainsaw and I think a weed eater.
A weed eater. A little chainsaw, like an 18-inch chainsaw.
We didn't know what the heck we were doing.
I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew for sure was I wanted out of the neighborhood,
Yep.
and I wanted to be in the country.
Yep.
And I found some property and I just went for it.
You guys, let me just tell you though.
But now I can teach you guys how to do it if you don't already know.
It requires sacrifices. And I think that's where I talk to some of these people, and no one wants to really sacrifice. Now, you guys that call in to me, and you guys are telling me what you're going through and all this stuff, and what you guys sacrifice, and you've paid off your property, and you've started a side hustle. And which, by the way, I want to mention one in just a second. Somebody gave us some T-shirts. You guys do all this kind of stuff, but it requires sacrifices. It requires no vacation many years. It requires no brand new cars. It requires. What are you laughing about?
No, I just thought of something. It just cracked me up.
Go ahead.
What is it? Talk about it?
Go ahead.
So we're doing all this, right? We're doing all this. Sacrifices like...
But you got to be a team.
Nobody sacrifices like that. Not that I know of.
But you got to be a team.
I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. We had somebody ask us, because, we years and years into it, you start growing and growing and you start accumulating assets. But somebody close asked us, can you give me $3,000? I would like a cushion in my savings account. I'm sorry, that came out of the middle of nowhere. But because in that time frame when we are not buying new vehicles, we're not buying Gucci purses, we're not doing any of that. All we did was nose to the grindstone type of mentality. And there's some leeches that'll try to get a little bit of what you got, and that's just a no-go. It helps me say no. It is like, oh no, you haven't sacrificed like I have. Nope, not even a question. Nope, cut them out.
Yep. Well, anyway, you guys, we want to hopefully bring value. We got off on a side note there, and that was.
Sorry.
And matter of fact is that person called me. I didn't even go and even ask him. I was like, nope, because he and I have a rule. We don't go there.
I'm not a bank.
No, we're not a bank. And that's a good thing. You're not a bank. And you know what? Actually, maybe that needs number 7. No, we need to talk about a whole nother video on that.
Whole nother video because I know what number 7 is.
So, okay. So, but anyway, so you guys also, just real quick, some things I want to talk about. I know this is not number 7, number 8, but I want to hit on a few things. That this is the stuff that I've read in history, I've read in this book. This is what I'm hearing right now that is shortage overseas. These are some essentials, right? So,
essentials list, and then I got the next one.
All right. So this is just some stuff that you guys, and I've talked about it in this other video, whatever. But this is some things through history, when I was reading history books, that was a shortage, and people really struggled with. Blankets and towels. They literally were ripping blankets and towels apart to like share. Couldn't keep them clean. You had a dirty towel, you had a clean towel, you used the dirty towel for this. Get extra. Batteries and how to store them. Solar lights. That's something else I'm looking into right now, and I learned the hard way. Don't get the cheap ones. Get something that's actually decent. Hygiene. You guys, men, women, hygiene. I have a box of it. I am going to be fine. If you need toothpaste, all that kind of stuff. We won't go all through mosquito. I do have that too. Sturdy clothing. So I'm a woman. I like pretty frilly stuff. Chris is more heavy duty. You know, he does more. But I have to remind myself.
Frilly stuff.
Yeah, you don't. I need some heavy jeans. You know, like my jeans sometimes are really like, they're not the heavy duty. I just went to the store the other day and I got a really big heavy like Carhartt. No, it wasn't Carhartt, but it looks like a Carhartt, like really heavy jacket. Boots, gloves, all these things, you guys, that you need to have. Whether you live in a condo, whether you need stuff like this in case things happen. All right.
What's a good soap recipe?
So there's some really good ones.
I know. I just had...
I learned one the other day to clean the shower. Vinegar and Dawn soap.
You know what? I don't know the best soap recipe. I've never made my soap. It's so cheap to buy. You could stock it a lifetime supply and not have to make it. But for those of you that really take prepping where you want to make everything you do, that's a good idea. Do it. I don't know that, though. I'm willing to say I don't know something. Some people are not.
I need to learn that more stuff, yeah.
The next crucial thing that is essential, actually, if it really hits the fan, communication. A communication plan is crucial.
It is.
Everybody depends on cell phones, including me. Everybody depends on Wi-Fi, internet. All you gotta do is lose it for a day or two, and because we don't have a lot of cell phone signal out here, but we do have internet. You're in the dark. You don't know anything. So communication, I used to talk a lot about the Bofang. I used to have it sitting right up at the Bofang radio. Mm-hmm. Those are cheap, guys. They're cheap, and I'm hoping there's enough people around me with some type of radio that we can, bounce messages around. Mm-hmm. I don't have the big antenna. I'm not all set up. And I probably should be. That should probably be one of the next things on the list. I'm just too optimistic. But as the wars start coming, and the rumors of wars, which I'm certain is happening, it makes me want to address that issue. Communication plan. Think that. Think really simple. It's like, I need a way to protect myself if something happens real fast. I need water. I need food. I can't remember
electricity.
Electricity. I need essentials. Tampons, pads, toilet paper. Hey, I'm not joking around. You want to... I'm never saying tampons on camera again.
Please don't.
Look, those are things. If you want a pissed off woman, don't have that stuff. Okay? You wear out. Anyway.
We've been married too long. It's good to do a video with you.
I'm glad to be on here. Thank you guys for being here. Hit the like button if you don't mind. I would appreciate that because I got another awesome tip.
Okay, and then I want to go to a subscriber who sent us a side hustle.
Why don't you do that first?
So, we always love sharing what you guys do. I talk to you guys, I've talked to a lot of you guys today. But thank you guys, Lacey, and I've talked to you several times, and you guys, you started a side hustle, and I'm so excited. You sent us a letter. Go here and give the...
No, keep going. I'll catch Tony in a minute.
Okay, so you sent us a letter, and you started a business on Etsy back in March, making homeschooling and patriotic tees. T-shirts, and I'm going to show you two of them in a minute. You said it was kind of slow to catch on until the Sound of Freedom movie inspired me as a mom to take action with a special design for a donation campaign. I think this is so absolutely amazing. You guys, we talk about this all the time. I'm right now looking at another side hustle for myself. We're always looking for opportunities to further ourselves. This is the one she sent me. It says Save the Children and End Human Trafficking. And if you look at the back, that one's nothing on the back. That one's something on your back. This is really pretty color, by the way. I love this one. And it said, God's children are not for sale. End human trafficking. And look on the back.
Makes me hurt a little bit. Kids are really for sale.
And there's a cross on it. And I absolutely love that.
Isn't that crazy? Kids are for sale.
So, Lacey,
Nuts.
my next video maybe that we'll do, I'll be wearing this one. We got this in the mail. Thank you so much. I actually really like this color.
Yeah, it's cool, and they feel like really good T-shirts as well.
That's a really good idea. That's a good side hustle. And anyway, I think it's amazing, you guys. I don't know her website. Let me see.
MJ wants one. If anybody wants a T-shirt from a community member.
Lacey did not put her website on here. She said Breezy and Sons. So look up Breezy and Sons. Yeah, because she did not put a website on here. So look it up. Buy your bootstraps. Maybe buy your bootstraps. I don't know, Lacey, help me out here. If you're in here, then let us know your website because we would like to help you. But thank you for the T-shirts. I look forward to that.
Let me get to the super chat. Tony. Uh-oh, it's not working.
Oh, that's okay.
For Stacy, a wife with noble character who can find, she is worth far more than rubies. I agree. I agree 100%. 100%. Thank you, Tony, because I agree with you.
But I can't be a pain in the butt sometimes.
She is my person. Yes. That's all I'll say.
Yes, I can be.
I'm not going to step on that landmine.
All right, what was the last idea you had?
Okay, I thought about this as I was on the tractor doing things. I'm doing a lot of actual work.
Yeah. We've been doing improvements to the property like
Practical
crazy.
skills. Practical skills. This is somewhere between probably 1 and 5, maybe 1 and 7. Because there's going to be things that break that you're going to need to fix. I don't know how people make it without a welding machine, a grinder, a cutting wheel, Dremel tools, tools, toolbox, that kind of mindset. Now, I know a lot of people don't have that mentality or maybe can't produce that skill, but what you could do is reach out to somebody and tell them, hey, I might need you to weld for me one day. What can we trade? What do you charge? Because I've got to see what their skill set is and create a relationship. The same thing you would do with a farmer. The same thing you would do with anybody else. But if you have practical skills, canning, just practical things that you would think about if things weren't on the shelf. Things you would think about if something simple broke. I've got a way to turn parts down. I can build axles. I can do weld about anything, and milling machines, plasma tables. That's my gift. But I have a lot of things that I can't do, that I just don't. A lot of it's on a computer, just so you know. I'm not a tech person, but I'm gonna have to rely on somebody else for that because one person can't do it all. And I see, like I was trying to garden, right? You had a huge garden. That takes up a multitude of your time. And I got to thinking, there was farmers for a reason, because farmers did that work and then they made a produce and they sold it to the people. So they did that and this person did that, but you need to create your own way to secure those items. Farming, somebody that can weld, somebody that does electricity, somebody, just kind of think about that. I'm not telling you to set up a roster of people and start calling them tomorrow, but just kind of think through it, the things you're going to need, the things that might break, the things that you can buy right now, like a pump for my septic system. That area right over there is going to smell like doo-doo if I don't have a pump on my septic system, and a little air pump. So I bought a couple of them, mainly because I don't want to smell crap.
Actually, I don't think that's a bad idea. It's actually been mentioned. Several of you guys have called in and said, could we form a community somehow of different people? And it's kind of hard to do.
They have different skill sets. Yeah. There's a lot of prepper, like hardcore prepper communities that actually do that.
It does. And so
I've been reached out to, actually.
So I would recommend in your area, and we've done that in our area. We've reached out to various different people, and they said that's the reason why we have someone that grows us the cow. I'll tell you another thing. As a woman, you need to learn how to use a needle and a thread. I know it's so simple and it sounds so, but get some. It's all these little things you just don't think about till all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're going, I don't have that. What can I do? This store is closed. There's nothing I can do to get this. But anyway, that's just some.
Pete's putting up really simple things: sheep, chickens, bees. You know, there's. I mean, you could do bees in a neighborhood.
You can.
And it would help your neighbors.
Yep. It's pollination.
Chickens. There's a lot of neighborhoods that kind of frown on chickens. Those are not such of a big hassle. Chickens are kind of a pain in the butt, really, especially if you can't eat the eggs. Still putting that to the test. I don't know if I'm allergic to eggs or not yet.
I like my chickens.
But there's, I think I'll finish the video with this. You want to hear this? Because I've been thinking, this is what I've been thinking through constantly.
Okay, here we go. He just went deep.
The people that want to hurt us, I feel, man, who would hate a Jewish person? Who would hate somebody enough? Who would hate a homosexual enough to hurt them? Who would cut the head off a child? Who would do some heinous, crazy stuff in the name of some
whatever
small g God? You know, who would do that? Somebody that has a demonic spirit in them. Those are the people that are coming over the border. Not all of them. I'm not talking about Mexicans and Latin Americans, and I'm not talking about that. You know who I'm talking about. Don't go there. The people that are doing these things are demonic. We are at war with principalities. This is real. It's a real thing. I want you to be prepared as much as possible. And I know I sound like I'm really going off the deep end, but that's a matter of fact what's happening. It's happening here in the colleges. These wild-eyed, I don't want to say too much and get kicked off the channel again, but you know what I'm talking about. The people that hate everybody that's not like them. You know, Christians don't do that. Christians are supposed to show love and kindness and try to live through their actions and show Christ to people. Show them love and respect and treat everybody like they're worth something. The other side doesn't do that. If you don't believe like we believe, we're going to cut your head off because we're going to get 70 virgins. If that's not the most demonic thing ever, think about it. Just think how crazy that is. Wild and crazy. So that's what and it's not happening here. It's not happening here, but it's happening everywhere. I wrote some stuff down I didn't even talk about. There's Russia and Iran. No, I'm sorry. That's some other thing. There was an attack on a major pipeline between Estonia and Finland. There's, like I said before, college students that are protesting in the name of Allah and all these other things that are saying they would love to kill Jews. They would kill you. My buddy right in there, he said, I used to work with those guys, and they said if they knew they could take out 10 people and it would cost them their life, they would more than gladly do it because they're going to receive all these crazy gifts when they get to, heaven. 70 virgins and all that stuff only a moron would think was correct. So, guys, I just want you to know what we're up against. It is coming across our border, south of here. I would love to go down there and do a video.
Maybe you should.
My gut tells me
about
it's not a very good idea. But
Elon Musk did the other day. I don't
have the clout Elon Musk has.
That's true. You guys, though, we just see a lot of this coming, and it's really hard to.
Yeah, it is.
It's really hard to put it out there sometime, and in your gut. I was talking to someone today about it, and they said we were talking about your gut feeling, of where you're convicted, of where you just have that feeling, and it's just that you have that spirit that you just know. And how do you deal with it? And so we're trying to be positive at the same time. We're trying to say, hey, you guys, let's prepare. Let's prepare community. These are the things we're doing. Everything that we're doing, everything that we say on here, we're doing and way more most of the time.
I'm not telling you anything I'm not doing.
No, everything.
I only say, and I will never do hyperbole. If I come on here and tell you something's a big deal, it's a big deal. I'm like, it's a big deal.
Yep.
And I really believe what's happening, the open border policy that is done. Can you imagine, just give me a few more seconds. Can you imagine the cartel? They're selling children. Yep. They're running fentanyl. They'll do whatever for a buck. Do you think they would turn Mr. Jihad down? Do you think they would turn him down if they gave him money to bring him over here? Absolutely not. They'd say, yeah, I don't care, whatever you want to do. You want to kill Americans? I don't. Give me so much money and you can do whatever you want. I'll take you. We'll have armed guards and put you in a hotel when you get there. You know, I'll contact a representative and we'll get you set up with him. You know, you can join forces with our other amigos down there. That's happening. There's no way around it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments.
Well, obviously it's an issue, or they wouldn't have come out and issued the warning today. And they wouldn't have put all the police officer on the streets, called an extra duty. So obviously it's an issue. So if they're telling us it's an issue, there's a way bigger issue behind the scenes that we have no idea about. Whenever they come out and they give you a warning, you guys, just heads up, because I used to work with them, that means there's already a bigger issue behind the scenes, and they're just telling you the little tidbit on the front to pay attention. So we're just trying to hopefully prepare and get
prepare, and I'm always early, so this could take a little bit longer. You know, this could not happen tomorrow. Probably won't.
I hope not.
Yeah, but just know it's in the mail. It's on the way, and they're already here. And the little kids that are acting out in these colleges, the little kids that are, pro-Hamas and for whatever stupid reason, they don't know what they're doing. Maybe they do. They're not the ones to worry about. The ones to worry about that are being quiet, that are not saying anything, that are just waiting. They're waiting. So, and they're already here. So that's what comes, that's what it's coming out of me. That's what I want to tell you guys. Get prepared for that. And the first thing was home protection. And, well, the first thing was God, because if you don't have that, what's the meaning of life? And
amen to that.
But you don't want to get there before your time.
Yeah. Right.
Let's send them to where they're going first.
Hey,
anyway,
that was an interesting live stream tonight.
Sorry, I hadn't been on there a while. I want to catch up.
You did.
I'm done now. All right, guys. Have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one. Later.